Hello, I'm Chris, the Suffolk record collector, here again with another video of some records. I've got about 8, I think, records to show that I've purchased recently over the last month or so. So we've got some prog, and we've got some late 60s, early 70s. So let's get into it. So first off, we have an album from 1966, and it's a great one. It really is a great bluesy album. And that's the Yardbirds, Roger the Engineer. It's an original mono UK pressing. Cover's a bit grubby. Got some colouring in on here and stuff that someone's done over the years, but it's all in one piece, not too bad. Helps that it's a laminated front cover, because they really do help. Roger the Engineer. Like I say, it's an original mono on Columbia. I nearly didn't buy this. The only reason I bought it is because it was cheap. Because when you look at the record, there are marks and that on here. I would say there's not that many, but there's a few, and I would say there's definitely like a VG record. I'm trying to steer away. Very rarely do I buy a record if that's in VG condition today. But it was cheap, and I wanted a copy, and I thought, well, I'll take a punt on it. I'll take a risk, and look out for a better copy in the future. And when I got this home, I cleaned it because it was really dirty, and played it. It plays really, really well. Hardly any surface noise at all. But when you look at the record, it's clearly a VG record. But I have found that with some of these older 60s pressings before. But so I'm glad I picked it up, really, because I nearly didn't. There are tracks on here. Side 1, Lost Thunder, Over, Under, Sideways, Down, The Nazar Blue, I Can't Make Your Way, Rack My Mind, Farewell. Side 2, Hot House of Amargarashid, Jeff Spoogie, He's Always There, Turn Into Earth, What Do You Want, and Ever Since the World Began. Yeah, really good album from the Yardbirds from 66. I've not heard an awful lot. I've heard a lot. I know the Yardbirds and whatever, and I've heard a lot of their stuff, but I've never heard this before, although I had heard parts of it before. But yeah, it's very, very good. Like I say, very bluesy, and a real good listen. So that's the Yardbirds. Next, about, I don't know, a year ago, I shoot this record, and that's Gun. I can't remember now. Gunsight, which is their second album from '69. They only brought out 2 albums. Anyway, I showed this and said what a great heavy rock album this is, and certainly need to be looking out for their first album, which I have been doing. And lo and behold, I came across this absolute beauty. The Gun. This is their first album from 1968. It's a stereo and a laminated front cover in absolutely beautiful condition. I mean, this is stunning. Truly is stunning. released, like I say, in 1968 on CBS. There is not a spindle mark or a mark on this anywhere at all. I could not believe it. Seriously could not believe it. Look at that. This is such a great album. In many ways, such a great album. So, the cover is a Roger Dean, a very early Roger Dean cover. He obviously went on to do the Yes covers and whatever, and loads of others. And there was a track on here that was released as a single, and I think it made it to about number 10, which is the track Race with the Devil. So side one, you've got Race with the Devil, The Sad Saga of the Boy and the Bee, Rupert's Travels, Yellow Cab Man, which is awesome, It Won't Be Long, Heartbeat. Side two, Sunshine, great track, Rat Race, and a 12-minute track, Take Off, which is utterly brilliant. Yeah, like I say, they only did the 2 albums. This is their first album from '68, and that was it. They called it a day, or whatever. The music is heavy in parts, very psychedelic as well, you know, in parts, and verging on real hard rock. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant stuff. Can't rate this enough, and I'm so pleased to have found a copy of this, because I just don't see it very often. I haven't. I've seen it once out in the wild. That's it. And I snagged it. Beautiful copy. Check it out. I'm sure you can stream this. I know Race with the Devil and stuff is on YouTube, so you can check that out. You'll probably know that track anyway. It's a famous track, isn't it? Yeah, Gun, and I'm so pleased to have both of their albums on original UK pressings. Don't know if they've been reissued much. I don't think that they have, to be honest. Next, this is a brilliant album. So we've got now into the late 60s out the way. We've got now into 1970. This was released, and I found this in a bargain bin, local record shop. It was very, very cheap, and I mean very, very cheap. It was part of the sell-off from the BBC archives. So it's one of those records. But anyway, this was released in 1970 here. I believe it was released in Canada in 1969, but released here in 1970. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the band Lighthouse and the album called Sweet Feeling. Yeah, you can tell it's from the BBC. It's got this big sticker here, which I'm not going to try and get off at all, because there's some very nasty glue underneath there. It's been on there for many, many years, so we'll leave that. Although this is a laminated front cover, so I might be able to get it off, but it's part of history and I'm leaving it on there. The same on the back. There's one, but this is not laminated back, so I'm certainly not going to try and take that off. This is such a good record. It really, truly is. I shoot one of their records a while back, a few videos ago. Album called Thoughts of Moving On, which is a phenomenal record. This is not far behind. This is not far behind, I'll have you say. This is released in 1970 on RCA, and I don't think it had ever been played. I really don't think it had ever been played. Look at that. Stunning record. Really is a good record. I really, really like this. Music, well, I don't know how to describe it really. It's very jazzy in parts. There's a great jazz fusion track on here. which is called Places on Faces for Blue Carpet Tracers. Yeah. So they're a Canadian band, a very big band. So the music is big. There's horn sections. There's all sorts in here. I think there's about 12 or 13 members of the band. So released in 1970 here in the UK. So side one we have a cover of the band's track Chest Fever, and they got Feel So Good, Places on Faces for Blue Carpet Tracers, Could You Be Concerned, side two, Presence of Presence, Taking a Walk, 8 Loaves of Bread, What Sense, and a cover of Lennon McCartney's A Day in the Life, that's a really good cover. All in all, a really good listen, well worth searching out and looking for. I mean, this cost me a few pounds in the bargain bin. This is not an expensive record, I don't think at all. So you should be able to might be able to find it for a few quid. How hard it is to find, I don't know. I just happened to be a few weeks ago flicking through a bargain bin and there it was. So that is Lighthouse. Well worth checking out. Well worth checking out. So next we have this is a really good folk album by Richard Thompson, and it is called Starring as Henry the Human Fly. This is really good. I really like this. I really like this album. This is a reissue from the early 80s, I believe, on Hannibal Records. Yeah. And so it's really good. It sounds good. It's a great sounding record. I really like it. Beautiful condition. I think it was originally released in 1970, something like that, on Ireland. Obviously, Richard Thompson, originally from Fairport Convention. This is his first solo album, and when you read on the back here who's on here, it's just the who's who of the folk scene of that time. I mean, you have people like, you have Sandy Denny on here. Who else? We know Sue Drahim. Pat Donaldson, sorry. So, you know, all in all, he's backed by some serious folk musicians. And this is a very good record. Side one, Roll Over, Vaughan Williams. Nobody's Wedding, The Poor Ditching Boy, Shaky Nancy, The Angels Took My Racehorse Away. Awesome. Wheelie Down, side two, The New St George, Painted Ladies, Cold Feet, Mary and Joseph, The Old Changing Way, and Twisted. Check it out. It is well worth checking out. Well worth checking out. I love it. I've been playing this quite a bit just recently. And this pressing sounds good. And this was cheap. You should be, you know, it's not a hard record to find, I don't think. You should be able to find a reissue like this fairly cheap. And it was, you know, it's a good sounding record. Thompson. So now let's get into prog. Some prog records that I've picked up. I've got about 4 prog records. So, well, I'm calling them prog anyway. The first one, the band Earth and Fire, and this is Song of the Marching Children. Bit of a boring cover, just a black cover with some gold writing. But the inside is quite nice. Now, I'm pretty sure these were a Dutch band. This was released on Polydor. I think this was released in about 1970 or 71. But this pressing is a late 70s pressing, Dutch pressing on Polydor. It sounds very nice. It's in lovely condition. It's not a bad album. It's an album I had never heard before. It's not a bad album, but nothing strikes me as being great about it. It's a good album. Perhaps I need to listen to it some more, which I will do. But yeah, I don't know. Something strikes me as this not being the best prog album in the world. But I've, only heard it a few times. Anyway, side one, Carnival of the Animals, Ebbtide, Storm and Thunder, and In the Mountain. Side two is Song of the Marching Children, split into Theme of the Marching Children, Opening of the Seal, Childhood, Affliction, Damnation, Purification, and The March. Yeah, it's not a bad album at all. Have a look at that. I do like that picture on the inside. But I'm going to have to play this quite a bit more, I think, to have like a true. But at the moment, I'm thinking, yeah, that's a good album. That's a good album. Right. So that is Earth and Fire. Next. This is a great album. Again, proggy, progressive-ish record. And I love this band. I was fairly new to this band. I'd heard of them before, but never really picked any of their stuff up. And last year, I picked an album up, and then in the comments, people said, "Oh, you need to listen to so and so," and I picked that up as well. And I'm hooked. But they didn't release many. I think they released 4 albums altogether, and 4 albums, and this one, which is like a greatest hits. Their first album from '69, I believe it was Withdrawn, so it's quite a scarce thing to find. But I've still got another album to find. I've got 2, now 3. I need like a couple more, but that's Audience, the band Audience anyway. It's me waffling on, and this is a beautiful copy. And this was no money at all. Look at that. This is released in 1973. It's an original from '73. Like I say, it's just called Audience here, but on the side, on the spine, it said You Can't Beat 'Em. So whether the album's called You Can't Beat 'Em or not, I don't know, but that You Can't Beat 'Em is not replicated anywhere else, like on the label or anything. So, but it is taken tracks from all their previous albums. It's released on Charisma. Yeah, that's a really good. It's an original from '73, and it's a really good sounding pressing. Like I say, it's taken tracks from Heads on the Hill and Friend, and the one after those 2, and I can't think what it was, but I still need to get that one. And their first album, there's no tracks here of their first album. But anyway, on here you have side 1, Trombone Gulch, Thunder and Lightning, Ravioli, Elixir of Youth, I Had a Dream, and You're Not Smiling. Side 2, Ain't the Man You Need, It Brings a Tear, Indian Summer, Jackdaw, and Nancy. Hypnosis cover, really going an awful lot on that, really. The back's a bit better. Like I say, beautiful condition. you know, and this was no money. This was like £8 or £9, I think I paid for this, something like that. So that's audience. 2 to go. Prog. Okay. Here's a prog record. It's just me. Yeah, it's what prog is, I don't know. This is accessible avant-garde prog. That's the best way to describe this. So who are we talking about? We're talking about Henry Cow. This is the album Concerts, which I believe is their only live album. There may well be unofficial releases, I don't know. But this is an official release from '76. And it's concerts that they did, gigs they did between '74 and '75. I mean, you've got an arts centre in Oslo on the 25th of July '75. You've got 13th of October '75 at the Palmastra Auditorium, Udine, Italy. And you've got 21st of May '75, New London Theatre, London, featuring, that's with Robert Wyatt is there. And although this is live, this sounds amazing. It really does. And this is an amazing album. This is such an amazing album. Released on, well, I want to say Virgin, but I don't really think it is. Although Virgin had something to do with it. I've never seen this label before. So you have like the twins at the top, but at the bottom that says Caroline. I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful condition, double album, absolute prog greatness. And you're getting like 2 types of music here. So record 1, so sides 1 and 2 are actual songs, orchestrated songs, and sides 3 and 4 are more jams, live jams, where everything is just like, nothing's pre-scripted, everything is just like as that comes. And there's 2 like different types of sound there, but utterly brilliant, utterly brilliant. Henry Cow Concerts. I love the cover. This was done from a poster, I believe. One of their posters. Well worth checking out. Yeah, what more can I say? In the vein of probably like Egg or what, that type of thing, Soft Machine, that type of thing, but they're not that at all. They're their own thing, without a doubt, and well worth checking out. Well worth checking out. So that's Henry Cow. Next, a record I used to have years ago. I ain't had it in the collection for a long time. Needed to put it in because it's the only one I need. Now I have all of this band's output up to this album. And I don't really see the need to go any further, not for me personally. So the band we're talking about is Yes, and this is their utterly brilliant album, Going for the One. And I say utterly brilliant. This is a phenomenal record. You've probably heard it. Everybody has. It's in a trifold cover. So it folds out like 3 panels. You see the 3 panels. Yeah. Hypnosis design. Now this is not a UK pressing. I mean, this was cheap. This was cheap as chips. I think, again, paid what? Probably under a tenner or a tenner for this. Probably no more than a tenner. It's an original sleeve. It's in beautiful condition. And this is an original US pressing. Turned out to be beautiful condition. Look at that. And this is a great album, a great return to form. Because I believe the album previous to this was Relayer. And Rick Wakeman had left. Patrick Moraz came in. So that album's a little bit different, but that's an equally great album. But that was very long tracks, everything. With this, they've come back and Rick Wakeman's back. And there's no pomp and ceremony and all of that anymore. This is shorter tracks, more, I don't know, but it's really good, really good. They've gone, yeah, I really think this is a great album. Well worth checking out and listening to again. If you've not listened to this for many years, then check it out, because yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I honestly think that's one of their top albums. I would have that fairly high if I was doing a ranking. But then again, everyone's different, isn't they? It's all personal, isn't it? You know, it's all personal. Anyway, that was the records I wanted to show. I hope you all enjoyed that. Like I say, some great albums there. Any there you've not heard, just go and see if you can stream them, because there's some great music to listen to there. I want to take this opportunity and thank everybody who views my videos. Thank you very, very much. Everybody who subscribes, leaves comments, again, thank you very much. It means a lot. So, with all that, I hope everyone's good and staying good, and catch you all in the next one.